While on my streak of talking about underrated games, why don't I just make a series out of it? So hey there fellows, and welcome to Indev, a series where I play underrated games that either the comments tell me to play, or from any developer or developers that reach out to me, while also having a little special at the end. But the latter is what had brought me to make this video in the first place. Anyways, welcome to PANDORASTORY. A solo-made RPG that's heavily inspired and influenced by Toby Fox's works, Undertale, and the other anagram to it. Actually, especially that other anagram. This game is a short and sweet demo that, despite its runtime, is still a very enjoyable experience. So without further ado, let's delve into this. Upon first glance at the save files, you could have already known what this game was inspired by, and that's great because I love the starting menu. The sound effects are already hitting, and the interface looks simple, but it's still effective. Game interface is a very strong asset in games in my opinion, as it's gonna be a thing you're looking at most of the time, and because it also affects everything, which is kind of why the Persona franchise is so beautiful. It's an absurd hyperfixation of mine, but whatever. So yeah, the details on everything for the starting menu is amazing already, and we're also hit with a pretty somber theme. Good job to the lead developer, or shall I say, only developer. So upon a guy, canon named Rion, waking up, he's trying to get ready for school. Takes his due time as nobody is that ecstatic to learn. So here's one of my favorite things about this game and its linkage with Deltarune, the interactables. You could interact with almost everything in the house, and it leads to a one-way exchange of mostly quirky dialogue, which I love. It's like some sort of campiness that could only be achieved in little indie games like these, which add a lot more soul and personality to the games. But back to the story, we then meet our brother outside, and bam, card minigame. Controls on that were pretty weird, not gonna lie, but we managed. Useless as always, Noah. But once we do arrive at the school, that's when the weird shit happens. First, we're locked out, and we need to find some way in. And thankfully, a mysterious door had opened, and it just had to be the basement. Bravely, I chose the option of going in, and I do not know what the other outcome would be. But from this point onward, the tone of the game switches. We traverse this abandoned lair and eventually stumble upon some chalk writings that some cult probably did. We then get trapped and threatened by a voice and the color purple. We narrowly managed to escape through a crevice, and that was the moment where worlds started to collide, or whatever the hell happened. It actually does become a little bit too eerie in here, which is definitely backed up by the spooky ambience. After traversing around a tunnel-like area for a bit, we uncover a sword in the stone. So without any hesitation, you know our first thought. With a little bit of trial and error, we managed to pull it out a bit and... Uh-oh. Oh hey, cool outfit. From here on out, we're not back in our homeworld anymore. We're somewhere in some other dimension in the Destiny Waterfalls. With the guidance of some signs and paths, we were able to make it through this semi-desolate place for the most part, doing puzzles, going on broken bridges, and all that until we're cock-blocked by this guy. Our first opposition of the demo so far, and he is a pretty tough battle to be honest. I'm not that good at these sort of games, but after a few failed attempts, I managed to survive long enough for the end credits to appear. So without abrupt cut, it brings us to the end of this current demo so far. So, first thoughts? Yeah, it was pretty fun for the time being. It had its fair share of gameplay with the exploration, and especially the combat. I actually had the most fun with the fighting, despite the contrary thoughts of what the developer had said. Even if it was a hard battle, it was still, at the very least, engaging. I also don't really know the entirety of the combat system, with the bars on the left side and stuff like that, but I think that'll be explained later as the game goes on. And as this game gets expanded, I'm sure the combat itself will become way better, maybe with the addition of teammates and other stuff like that. Just things that would have more gameplay variety. Now, as for the story, I'm not really sure yet. Due to the length of this demo, I can't have a huge say in this, as much as it's been uncovered yet. There's still a lot of pieces and questions that'll probably be answered with the first chapter anyway. But since this game is heavily inspired off of Deltarune, some crazy shit is definitely about to happen, so I guess you gotta stay tuned for that. Although I can't explain my full thoughts on the story yet, I can tell that it still carries a little bit of a playfulness theme, which I think is intended. And the characters, we also haven't discovered much of yet, other than us and our brother. We got a little tease at the end of the demo with the hunter type of guy, and we'll just have to see how that goes. And again, all my thoughts on everything are nowhere near final, because this demo barely represents what the game's about. On a side note, the OST is also all original, which I'm even more impressed by. All in all, this is a pretty solid demo, albeit short. I didn't really run into many glitches or bugs, besides Rion having a little bit of a seizure. Although my favorite part of this entire game so far are the little details. It just makes the game much more lively and thriving of individuality, if that makes any sense at all. It was also what made Deltarune and Undertale quirky and funny little things all around the map and across the menus. Now, if I did have to provide any feedback, it'd be kind of hard since I am not a game developer in the slightest. My dreams died the moment I grew balls. But if I had to, as a gamer, then again, the developer had already mentioned to me that some assets are outdated and some Roblox features went out at the time, which is understandable to me. The slightly outdated look might turn a good bit of people off, but honestly, doesn't really matter. And remember how I said that the dialogue is very quirky? Sometimes this is a little bit too quirky, if you know what I mean. When a thing's grabbing hold of us in the basement, I found its dialogue to be a little bit off, to be honest. I don't know if it was intentional and written into the thing's personality, but for some magic anti-tentacles to grab me, I think for some harsher and more proper terminology. But hey, that's just me, and I most likely have Asperger's. But anyways, props to Samantha, the developer of the solo game, for creating this project. You could definitely tell that this was filled with oozing and original passion, while still paying homage to the director inspirations. But thank you even more to her for wanting to join a little interview I set up. So I asked Samantha a few questions about the game and other things, and these are her replies to each question. Since this interview is text-based, I will try my best to voice over the replies and questions. Question 1. What were your reasons for making this project in the first place? I've been obsessed with Undertale/Deltarune ever since 2015, so naturally I wanted to make a game like one of these, and there has never been a game like actual Deltarune on Roblox before, so I decided to make a game just like that. That's one of the reasons why I'm making this game. There are more and much bigger reasons, but they're tied to the game's lore, and I don't want to spoil anything here. It looks like a silly Roblox game, but it's actually quite deep if you will explore it. Understandable. If you love something for this long, it's almost certain you're going to create something that shows it. Kind of like me in my videos as a child. I'm a straight man, I swear. Question 2. Are you looking to expand this game largely, gaining assistance from other developers and stuff like that? I have planned to get someone specific to help me out with a few songs for the game, and hopefully it works out. She's the main reason why I even learned how to make music, and it would be a dream come true to me. Other than that, I don't think I need assistance with anything. I don't even think I could hire anyone. I'm broke. Money hurts us all. But yeah, you're doing good in the music department, and I think a little assistance would be greatly beneficial. Question 3. Do you think being a solo dev impacts the game making experience at all? Being a solo developer is so much more fun than having an entire team in my opinion. I've worked in a team before and I just couldn't stand it. I love having fun and doing silly things and just not taking it seriously. Maybe that's also why it takes me so long to get things done. I also feel like if I got a team for my game or something, it would lose its charm unlike when I'm making it just by myself. Yeah, that's why I love the individuality and freedom in this game. As I said before, it's something that could really be done only on indie projects like these, as the developer could be in more touch with their own creation. Also, props again for doing everything solo. Question 4. What aspects do you think the entirety of Chapter 1 will cover? I don't know if I want to spoil much, but the part of the game that's public right now is more like Undertale. The rest of the game will be more like Deltarune, more of an RPG with a larger focus on fighting. It will also have more multiplayer features. I currently love the player messages feature, and I want to expand onto it. I haven't really messed around with the game enough to figure out what player messages are, but it seems to be a special feature to the game. I wonder what the new incorporations will be the next chapter. Are they going to be original concepts, or of those from Deltarune? I guess we'll have to see. Question 5. Why'd you choose me personally to make a video? I've watched your videos before, and I think you're pretty cool. I also think you might enjoy my game. Yeah, thanks for watching my videos. Also the first time I've been called cool. So that about just sums up the short interview. Thank you all for watching this video, and please go play this game. I would like to see this game get visits and for you to actually feel motivated and inspired to continue the story. There's also probably a lot of Easter eggs in this game that I haven't discovered, so also play the game to figure out what those are too. This game has a lot of potential, and I honestly am looking forward to the first chapter. My respect for it is immense, as take in mind, everything's entirely done by her. The music, gameplay, and everything along with it. No glaze, no glaze. And another personal thanks to her for reaching out to me personally and being okay with me, since this is the first time I've ever done something like this. And on another personal side note, thank you guys for just watching my videos. The support I've had on my last video was immense, and probably the most I've ever gotten. It's almost like I have some sort of fan base now. It's kind of surreal. So if you're an aspiring developer, reach out to me in the comments and I'll play your game. It'll probably 99% of the time be on Roblox, since I'm too lazy to do anything with itch.io or anything else. Oh, also, I'm broke, so I ain't got no Robux to spend on early access games. But with that being said, go watch my miserable podcast while I'm gonna go save a free lighter and see ya fellows.